Welcome to David's Stories. Today we follow Alonzo Flores, a 64-year-old homeowner humiliated by his son during Christmas dinner who reclaims his house through eviction battles, family betrayal, and finds peace in independence and self-respect. Subscribe and hit the bell for weekly videos uncovering mysteries and truths. Share your thoughts below. Let's start the stories. I never believed in omens, not really. Not until that Christmas Eve in 2025, when the air in my old Phoenix house hung heavy with secrets older than the desert dust outside. My name is Alonzo Flores, 64 years young or old, depending on how you count the aches in my bones and the shadows in my soul. I've always felt something lurking in the corners of this place, whispers from the walls, that Margaret and I built our life into 40 years ago. She used to say the house had a spirit, a guardian that watched over us. After she passed, I dismissed it as grief-talking. But that night, as the scent of rosemary turkey wafted through the rooms like a siren's call, I felt it stir a hidden force awakening, urging me toward something I couldn't yet name. I'd risen before dawn, my warehouse shift ending just in time to prep the feast. My hands, calloused from decades of lifting crates and turning wrenches, moved with practiced grace. The turkey basted in butter and herbs had been my ritual since Margaret's death 3 years back, right around when Logan, my only son, showed up on my doorstep with Bernice and the grandkids in tow. Just a few months, Dad, he'd said, his eyes pleading like they did when he was a boy, begging for one more story. 3 years later, they were still here, roots digging deeper into my soil without a dime of rent or a word of thanks. But I let it slide. Family right blood, thicker than water, or so the saying goes. The house was alive with holiday cheer that evening, or at least the facade of it. Laughter echoed from the living room where the grandkids, little Marco and Diego, 7 and 9, full of that boundless energy that reminded me of Logan at their age, chased each other around the Christmas tree. Twinkling lights cast dancing shadows on the walls, and the faint hum of carols played from the old radio in the kitchen. My legs throbbed from the day's labor, a dull reminder of the years piling on, but I pushed through. This was my home, bought with sweat and veterans' benefits after my tours in the Army. The deed in my lockbox upstairs bore my name in bold ink, a silent testament to ownership. Yet lately I'd caught glimpses of something off drawers rummaged when I wasn't looking, whispers cutting short when I entered a room. Paranoia, maybe. Or perhaps the house's guardian was trying to tell me something. I steadied myself at the dining table, the one Margaret and I had sanded and stained together on our first anniversary. The last empty chair weighted its wooden back carved with faint initials from years of family gatherings, A+M forever. My fingers brushed the smooth grain, a touchstone to better days. The table groaned under platters of mashed potatoes, green beans, almondine, and that golden turkey steam rising like ghosts from the past. Bernice bustled in her sharp laugh, cutting through the air as she adjusted a centerpiece of poinsettias. Logan scrolled on his phone nearby, oblivious or indifferent, I couldn't tell anymore. As I lowered myself into the chair, a strange chill prickled my skin like eyes watching from the shadows. Was it the draft from the old vents or something more? Before I could settle, Logan's hand shot out like a viper. He yanked the chair away with a force that belied his casual demeanor. The world tilted. My tailbone slammed into the hardwood floor, pain exploding up my spine like fireworks in a night sky. For a split second the room froze, 3 heartbeats of silence, where the hidden mysteries of family betrayal hung suspended. "This seat's for Albert," Logan said flatly, not even glancing up from his screen. Albert, Bernice's father, the man who'd become more family to them than I ever was. "Get to the kitchen. There's a stool." The words hit harder than the fall. I lay there, palms scraping the floor as I tried to push up my vision, blurring with shock and a deeper unspoken hurt. Humiliation burned in my chest, hot and unfamiliar. Me, Alonzo Flores, war veteran homeowner, reduced to a stranger in my own dining room. The grandkids stared at their plates, forks frozen mid-air, their young eyes wide with confusion. Bernice tilted her head, a small, deliberate laugh escaping her lips, not loud, but pointed like a dagger slipped between ribs. No one moved to help. Not Logan, not Bernice, not even the children. The festive warmth I'd cultivated for decades evaporated, replaced by a cold void that whispered of darker truths. How long had this been building? The rummaged drawers, the shifted furniture, signs I'd ignored buried under layers of denial and love. I pressed my palms flat against the floor, knees cracking as I rose. Every one of my 64 years echoed in my joints. But something else stirred too. A spark, a personal power I'd forgotten I possessed. From the army days when I'd stared down deserts and doubts, surviving on grit and hidden reserves of strength. The house seemed to creak in response, as if its guardian spirit approved, urging me onward. Logan finally looked up, his tone as indifferent as ordering takeout. "The kitchen has a perfectly good stool, Alonzo." He used my name like that now, not Dad. When had that started? Bernice chimed in, her voice bright and edged like a child explaining away a broken toy. "Don't be dramatic." Dramatic? I'd cooked this meal, paid the bills, kept the roof over their heads. And for what? To be shoved aside for her father, I straightened back straight despite the throb and met their eyes one by one. Waiting for an apology, a flicker of regret. Nothing. Logan returned to his phone. The room resumed its clatter, forks scraping china, someone pouring wine. As if I'd been a minor interruption, a stone skipped across their pond. Not the kitchen, I decided. My bedroom. Each step down the hallway was measured, deliberate. My work boots leaving faint mud tracks from the morning's errand. The walls closed in, lined with photos that told a different story. Margaret and me on our wedding day, young and invincible. Me, cradling infant Logan in this very house, its fresh paint gleaming under Arizona sun. My house. My sanctuary. Or it had been. Behind me, the doorbell rang, Albert right on cue for his reserved seat. More laughter, swelled music flickering on. I closed the bedroom door with controlled precision, no slam, just a quiet click that sealed me in darkness. The muffled sounds of dinner filtered through voices, rising chairs, scraping the clink of glasses, toasting to a holiday I no longer felt part of. I sat on the edge of the bed, still in my work jacket, the scent of turkey clinging to me like a mocking reminder. Images flickered, unbidden, uninvited guests, moving in 40 years ago. Margaret's hand in mine as we crossed the threshold, convinced we'd found forever. Teaching Logan to ride a bike in the driveway, my hand steady on the seat until I let go, watching him soar. And then 3 years ago, him standing in this hallway, bags packed, promising just a few months. The pain in my tailbone pulsed, but beneath it a new sensation brewed, not just anger but a mysterious resolve, like unlocking a hidden vault within myself. I'd always sensed powers dormant in me, from the battlefield intuitions that saved lives to the quiet strength that rebuilt after Margaret's cancer claimed her. Now it awakened fully. That night, as the house partied without me, I vowed to reclaim what was mine. Not with fists or shouts, but with cunning, with the law's cold blade. And perhaps with secrets the house itself would reveal. Outside my door, footsteps past Bernice's heels, Logan's heavier tread. A whisper. "He's fine, just old and cranky." Cranky, no, awakened. Midnight crept in the house, quieting as beds creaked upstairs. I lay atop the covers, fully dressed, staring at the ceiling where shadows danced like guardians plotting. My chest didn't ache as expected. Instead, clarity sharpened. Hands steady, I rose with the gray pre-dawn light. Everyone slumbered off their indulgence. I moved to the closet, fingers finding the metal lockbox on the top shelf. Combination, Margaret's birthday, eternal. Inside the deed, thick and official. My name embossed like a talisman. Insurance papers, bank statements, truck title. I spread them on the bed like tarot cards foretelling victory. The deed's weight in my palm felt alive, pulsing with the house's hidden energy. Alonzo Flores. Owner, not tenant, not servant. As dawn goldened the curtains, pipes gurgled. The coffee maker, timed by Bernice, clicked on. 2 hours I sat, deed in hand, plotting. My back throbbed, a badge of the fall, but pain fueled purpose. Revenge wasn't a word I liked. Reclamation was better. And in the quiet I felt the first twist of mystery. What if the house held more secrets? Drucker anomalies missing, trinkets, clues to their deeper ingratitude. By 9 a.m., kitchen empty, I poured coffee into my world's best dad mug, a faded Father's Day gift. Sat on the stool they'd relegated me to, laptop open. Searched tenant rights Arizona, eviction process. My pen scratched notes on a legal pad. 30-day notice, no verbal lease. Footsteps descended. Logan, in sweatpants, hair tousled. He saw me, paused, poured coffee, left, wordless. That silence, a confession. Over the next days I watched deeper, like peeling layers of an onion laced with poison. Bernice rearranged cabinets, Christmas +1 hiding my coffee high. Logan's mail piled bills collections. Grandkids asking her for snacks in my pantry. Evening of the 27th. Bernice cornered me in the living room. We need this space tonight. Friends over. Her laugh sharp. Stay in your room. I went, but documented date-time words. On laptop forums revealed laws like spells ownership. Trump's occupation. Guests versus tenants. I listed needs, deed no rent proofs. The 29th bank for statements, 3 years, 0 deposits from them. Home to find Bernice organizing my mail. You're scattered. She smiled falsely. I took it back, smile cooling hers. New Year's Eve. They dressed for partying. Watch the kids, Bernice asked. No. Steady gaze. Logan's eyebrows shot up. Plans, what plans? My house. My Eve. They argued, woke kids slammed out. Silence enveloped me. On the pad, 1. Attorney, 2. Notice, 3. Evidence, 4. Trust, 5. Spring eviction. Fireworks boomed at midnight, colors splashing my reflection, older done yielding. Monday, the call. But that Christmas, fall, the spark. The hidden power within the house's mysteries aligning. Betrayal unveiled my strength rising. The story was just beginning, suspense building like a desert storm. The days following Christmas blurred into a haze of watchful vigilance, each one layering onto my resolve like sediment in the Arizona canyons, slow, inexorable building, something unbreakable. I, Alonzo Flores, had always prided myself on my patience, a trait forged in the Army's endless waits under scorching suns and starless nights. But now that patience twisted into a blade honed by the sting of betrayal. The house, my faithful old companion, seemed to conspire with me. Its creaks and groans at night weren't just settling wood anymore. They were whispers, secrets unfolding. I'd catch glimpses in the mirrors, a fleeting shadow that wasn't mine, or drawers ajar with items shifted just enough to notice. Was it paranoia born of hurt, or something deeper? Margaret used to swear by the house's guardian spirit, a benevolent force she'd felt during our early years here. After her passing, I'd scoffed. Now I wondered if it was awakening, revealing hidden truths to aid my reclamation. January 1st dawned crisp and unforgiving. The phoenix sun slicing through my bedroom curtains like a spotlight on my newfound purpose. My tailbone still throbbed from the fall, a constant reminder, a badge of humiliation turned fuel. I rose early, slipping past the sleeping household like a ghost in my own halls. Logan and Bernice had stumbled in after midnight, the kids tucked away upstairs, oblivious to the storm brewing. In the kitchen, I brewed coffee in silence, the percolator's gurgle masking my movements. My laptop hummed to life on the counter, that yellow legal pad beside it, already filling with scribbles, phrases like at-will tenancy, "There's no consideration paid, eviction timeline." I dove deeper into the digital abyss that morning. Forums and legal PDFs glowing on the screen. Arizona law was a labyrinth, but navigable with grit. No written lease. They were tenants at will, 30 days notice, then court if needed. Ownership was my shield, the deed my sword. But evidence was key. Without it, words were wind. I needed proof of their freeloading their subtle encroachments. The house aided me, or so it felt, a loose floorboard in the hallway, where I'd hidden a small notebook years ago for Margaret's recipes. Now it became my log dates, incidents, whispers overheard. By noon the family stirred. Bernice descended first, her robe cinched tight, eyes narrowing at me, perched on the stool like a sentinel. "You're up early," she said, pouring coffee without offering. Her tone carried that false sweetness laced with dismissal. I nodded, closing the laptop. Old habits. She rummaged cabinets she'd rearranged yesterday, my favorite mugs now buried behind her garish ones. "We should talk about chores," she murmured, more to herself. "This place needs organizing." Organizing. Code for claiming. I watched her, really watched, as Logan had taught me silence speaks volumes. She moved my spices to a higher shelf out of easy reach for my aching back. A small power play, but noted. On my pad later, John 1. Bernice relocates kitchen items without consent. Feels like territorial marking. The afternoon brought the kids downstairs, Marco and Diego bounding with post-holiday energy. "Grandpa, can we play in the yard?" Diego asked, Logan's eyes pleading. I smiled, genuine for them. "Sure, mijo, but stay off the cactus." As they scampered out, I followed at a distance, pruning the bougainvillea while eavesdropping. Bernice on the phone in the living room. "Yeah, Dad's being weird since Christmas. Fell flat on his ass, hilarious, right? Albert, you'll love the seat we saved you." Laughter echoed. My blood simmered, but I held it in clipping thorns sharper than needed. That evening, as the sun dipped into fiery oranges, Logan cornered me in the garage. "Dad need to borrow the truck tomorrow. Work stuff. No ask-just statement." His mail had piled on the entry table, credit card bills, a collections notice peeking out. Financial woes. They'd never shared burdens here. "Keys are on the hook," I replied neutrally. He grunted, grabbing them. As he left, I slipped into the garage after noting the oil stains from his equipment he'd stored without permission. Photo on my phone time-stamped evidence of encroachment. Night fell, and with it the first real mystery unfurled. Alone in my room, I recounted the bank statements I'd pulled, mentally zero rent deposits. But something nagged, a faint discrepancy in the utility bills upstairs. Higher usage spikes. Paranoid, I crept to the hallway closet site of the meter readings I'd ignored. Dusting off old records, I found anomalies, spikes, aligning with their move-in. Coincidence or deliberate waste? The house creaked approvingly, as if saying, "See, they've been draining you." January 2nd, Attorney Day. But first, more gathering. I drove to the library, neutral ground, printing renter laws for pennies a page. Back home, Bernice hosted friends in my living room, laughter spilling like wine. I retreated, but not before overhearing Alonzo's fine in his room. Like a ghost. Ghost. I'd become spectral in my domain. On the laptop, I bookmarked Thomas Bradley's site, property law specialist. His bio read like an ally, ex-military, tough on squatters. Dialed twice, hung up. Third time, Bradley and Associates. Appointment set for the 5th. Heart pounded, not fear but anticipation. Power surging. The intervening days were a masterclass in observation suspense, coiling like a spring. January 3rd. Grandkids asked Bernice for pantry crackers, my pantry. Noted. Logan's mail revealed furniture store bills, buying on credit, furnishing my space. I photographed envelopes discreetly. Evening, Bernice at the hallway desk, organizing my mail again. Envelopes opened, steam marks. Mystery deepened. Why snoop bills of mine, or searching for weaknesses, confronted her. "I'll handle my papers." Her smile faltered, eyes flashing calculation. "Just helping Alonzo. You're forgetful lately." Forgetful. Seed planted for later games. January the 4th. The truck returned, Scratched. Logan shrugged. Parking lot. No apology. I inspected documented damage. Inside there whispers through walls, he won't notice. But I did. Everything. That night a deeper enigma, waking at 3 a.m. to footsteps. Not the kids heavier, peering out shadows in the living room. Bernice rifling drawers, I waited. Heart thumping suspensefully. Morning revealed my old army medal box shifted. Why sentimental value, or pawing for valuables? The guardian spirit seemed to stir the air thicker, urging protection. January 5th. Doctor's lie to Bernice appointment. Downtown Bradley's office. Modest leather chairs smelling of justice. I laid it out, deed timeline, no rent proofs. They're tenants at will, he said, eyes appraising my resolve. 30 days then unlawful detainer. Trust for assets revoke inheritance expectations. Retainer $3,500. Wrote the check hand steady. Weight lifted, power affirmed. Home with milk alibi. Bernice sneered. Slow today, Logan demanded garage space. Fine, I said, plotting. January 6th, the 9th, evidence avalanche. Library prints. Bank records, zero deposits. Noted Bernice's redecoration. My lamp, basement bound. Grandkids shunned grandpa's tired. Phone buzzed January 9th. Bradley's email notice draft, approved via library computer. Home tensions. Logan used truck unasked. I added to log unauthorized use. The mystery peaked January 10th. Found a note slipped under my door, an anonymous scrawl. They're planning more. Watch the will. Forgery, hallucination, or house's guardian. Manifesting chills ran deep. No will existed but implication clear. They probed inheritance. Strength surged. I wouldn't yield. January 15th, service scheduled. 4 days of feigned normalcy, coffee, walks, clock watching. Inside suspense built, their laughter now grated like nails on chalkboard. Evidence complete. Timeline typed, dates ironclad. The house whispered approvals, doors easier to open, lights flickering in patterns. Alley or imagination? Didn't matter. My personal power, mysterious and unyielding, was awake. Betrayal's web tightened. Soon it'd snap. The morning of January 5th, 2025 carried a bite in the Phoenix air, sharper than usual for winter, like the desert itself was holding its breath, anticipating the storm I was about to unleash. I, Alonzo Flores, woke before the alarm. The throb in my tailbone, a distant echo now transformed into a talisman of resolve. The house felt alive around me, its walls humming with that enigmatic energy I'd begun to trust. Margaret's spirit, or my own subconscious weaving illusions to bolster my strength. Whatever it was, it urged me onward. I'd told Bernice a lie about a doctor's appointment, simple, believable. She barely glanced up from her phone as I grabbed my keys. Whatever she muttered. Bring back milk. Her dismissal fueled me a spark to the powder keg of my plans. Driving downtown, the city sprawled like a puzzle I was finally solving. Skyscrapers glinted under the sun, but my mind raced ahead to Bradley's office. The folder in my passenger seat, deed on top, timeline beneath, bank statements stacked like ammunition, felt heavier than paper imbued with the weight of 40 years' ownership. Parking 3 blocks away, quarters feeding the meter. I walked with purpose, the chill nipping at my jacket. The building was unassuming, glass doors, stenciled Bradley and Associates. Inside, the waiting room smelled of polished leather and stale coffee, law journals piled like ancient tomes hiding spells of justice. The receptionist smiled professionally. Mr. Flores Thomas, we'll see you now. Bradley's office overlooked the street, gray suit, crisp handshake, firm, practiced yet genuine, with a military bearing that mirrored my own. Early 50s, blue tie knotted tight. He offered coffee. I declined, eager to dive in. You mentioned eviction, he said, leaning back, fingers steepled. Family, I opened the folder, spreading documents like a hand of cards in a high-stakes game. My son Logan. His wife Bernice, grandkids. Living rent-free 3 years. No agreement, no payments. Started as temporary after hard times. Now they treat me like a boarder in my own home. Bradley pulled the deed closer, eyes scanning seals and signatures. Clear title. Mortgage paid 20 cents. I nodded. He flipped to bank statements. 0 deposits from them. Utilities in your name, everything. They contribute nothing. He nodded, expression neutral, but approving. Legally tenants at will in Arizona. No written lease means verbal month-to-month at best, but with no rent it's revocable any time. Serve 30-day notice to quit. If ignored, file unlawful detainer. Court in 3 to 5 weeks. Sheriff enforces if you win. And I will. My voice steady, but inside suspense, coiled. Would blood ties complicate this? Based on this ironclad. Ownership trumps occupation. He explained step-by-step forms from the courthouse filing fees, around $200 hearing before a judge. They might claim oral agreement family deal, but without proof it's hearsay. Your timeline helps. Incidents like the Christmas chair pull show hostility. I detailed it all, the fall, the indifference, the encroachments. Bradley jotted notes. Document everything. Photos, recordings, if legal. Arizona's one-party consent, you can record interactions without telling them. Recordings. A thrill ran through me. Mysterious power unlocked. And asset protection. You mentioned trusts. He leaned forward, eyes gleaming like he sensed my inner fire. Revocable living trust. Transfer the house, now you stay trustee, full control. Upon death goes to your named beneficiary. Skips probate, blocks contests. If they're eyeing inheritance, this cuts them off cold. How simple docs trust agreement, deed transfer. Name anyone a charity friend. Message sent. This isn't theirs. The idea ignited something primal in me, a hidden strength from my army days. Strategic strikes, not brute force. Cost $2,500 eviction. $1,000 trust. $3,500 retainer. I pulled my checkbook pen, scratching the amount. Handed it over, perforation tearing like breaking chains. Soon as possible. Mid-January service. We shook hands. His card slipped into my pocket like a talisman. Grocery stop for milk, alibi intact. Home. Bernice snatched it. Took forever. Doctors say blood pressure fine. Lie layered on, lie suspense building. Exercise more. You're slowing down. Her jab landed, but I smiled inwardly. Slow. No deliberate. Logan emerged. Garage, this weekend, work equipment. Park on street. Whole garage. Yeah. Few weeks. Fine. But noted overreach. In my room, door locked, I buried Bradley's card in the lockbox under tax returns. Mirror stared back, same gray hair, but eyes sharper, empowered. The house creaked as if applauding. The following days crawled with tension, each a thread in the web. January 6th, Bradley emailed forms, notice, draft trust outline. I reviewed at library, approving via public computer. Home normalcy facade. Coffee brewed, news watched. Logan ignored me. Bernice issued orders. Pick up, dry cleaning. I did hung his shirts, but photographed, first evidence of servitude imposed. Evening drive to electronics store. Digital voice recorder, $45. Voice memo app, backup. Tools for unveiling truths. January 7th. Bernice's strategy shifted subtly. Trash day. I hauled bins curbside. She rushed out. Alonzo, let me help. Shouldn't lift heavy. Voice loud for neighbor Margaret's benefit. I've got it. Stubborn, I worry. Took the bag, performative sigh. Inside, ignored at neighbor's gaze, painted caring daughter-in-law. Mystery deepened. Why the act? Prepping to claim concern if challenged. That night, pills, my blood pressure meds on kitchen counter. Kept locked in room. Photographed, time-stamped, returned. Plot hatching. January 8th, pills on dining table. Again documented. Bernice to mailman, loud he's forgetful. We watch him, but whispers inside. Stay out, old man. Recorder captured both contradictions. Gold, January 9th, phone account check. Family plan perks, text logs. Bernice to Logan. Margaret noticed pills. Mentioned confusion again. Good. Keep building case he's losing it. Forwarded to Bradley anonymously. Rage simmered but controlled fuel for the fire. Suspense peaked, January 10th. Another anonymous note under door. They're searching for weak spots. Safe in walls. House is his guardian again, or my imagination manifesting clues. Probed walls found loose panel in closet. Old hiding spot from bootlegging days, house history whispered. Empty but idea planted. Hide valuables deeper. January 11th. Bernice redecorated living room, my lamp basemented. Clutter, she said. Noted photo. Grandkids shunned, grandpa tired. January 12th. Logan truck use again returned late gas low. Documented mileage. Bradley call, notice ready. Serve Jan. 20th. Yes. Heart raced, countdown began. January 13th, 14th. More staging. Pills in living room. Recorder on Bernice to Logan. Low, if he slips, we claim incapacity. Response. Delay. Eviction forever. My power swelled, evidence mounted like arsenal. January 15th. Dr. Patricia Chen appointment real this time for proof. Cognitive assessment, I explained. Family dispute. Son claims incompetence. Concerned nod. Mini mental dates recall. I6 recall. Scored 2930 perfect. Letter no impairment. Fully competent. Filed with Bradley. Empowerment surged. Their lies crumbling. Home atmosphere toxic. Logan hostile TV remote argument. We're watching. Find else. My room. Recorder pocketed words. January 16th. Bernice laundry mildewed mine 2 days. Forgot. Incident logged. Midnight, January 17th. Logan's friends music pounding. Asked down. Not your house soon. Called police non-emergency. Officer shut it. Logan's glare. Regret this. Recorder threat preserved. January 18th. Bradley text court prep if needed. Organized folders. Recordings backed thrice. Photos labeled. Downstairs arguments bled walls. Money woes. Where rent from panic tasted sweet. Their uncertainty my victory. January 19th. Final prep. Slept little house, humming mysteries. Lights flickered patterns like Morse persevere and win. Morning 20th loomed. Service day. Suspense electric. But this phase consultations gatherings forged me anew. Hidden strengths unveiled betrayals mapped. The guardian watched my power unyielding. Battle lines drawn. War begun. The morning of January 20th, 2025 dawned with an unnatural stillness over Phoenix, the kind that precedes a dust devil's whirl or a revelation long buried. I, Alonzo Flores, rose early brewing coffee in the kitchen like any other day, but my senses were heightened, attuned to every creak of the house, as if it were a co-conspirator in the drama about to unfold. The guardian spirit, or whatever mysterious force I'd come to sense in these walls, seemed to hum with anticipation, the air thicker charged, like the moments before a firefight in my army days. My personal power, that dormant strength, forged in deserts and losses, pulsed steadily, now unyielding. Bradley's text from the night before burned in my mind. Sheriff, confirmed. 2:00 p.m. Be prepared. 4 days of feigned normalcy had led to this, the serving of the notice, the crack in their facade. I sat in the living room chair I'd reclaimed from the garage newspaper, open, but unread eyes on the clock. Logan descended first around 9 a.m., sweatpants, rumpled hair, askew from sleep. He paused at the sight of me, grunted, poured coffee, and retreated upstairs without a word. That silence, a prelude heavy with unspoken dread. Bernice followed at 10, issuing orders to the grandkids about cartoons. Her voice brittle. The boys waved timidly at me. "Hi, Grandpa," but she herded them away. "Don't bother him. Isolation their weapon. Documentation mine." The hours ticked by in suspenseful agony. I took a walk around the block at noon, the sun beating down like judgment neighbors nodding hello. Margaret Hayes from 2 doors down watered her lawn, her glance lingering had she noticed Bernice's performative concern. Acts. Back home lunch, uneaten. I waited. The house whispered encouragements, pipes gurgling in patterns, shadows shifting unnaturally in the hallway. Or was it my imagination amplified by the stakes? At precisely 2:00 p.m., the doorbell rang, a sharp official chime that sliced the air like a knife. My heart steadied. This was it. Bernice answered, her heels clicking on the hardwood. "Yes, can I help you?" From my chair, I heard the deputy's voice, calm and authoritative. "Looking for Logan Flores." "Legal documents. What's this about?" Bernice's tone sharpened, suspicion creeping in. Logan's footsteps thundered down the stairs. "I'm Logan Flores. Sign here, please." Rustling papers, pen scratching. The door closed with a finality that echoed through the rooms. Logan appeared in the hallway, white envelope clutched like a venomous snake. He tore it open, eyes scanning, face cycling through confusion, comprehension, then a storm of rage. He read aloud, voice flat at first, notice to quit premises. "You are hereby notified to vacate. Located at—" He stopped, looked up, eyes locking on me in the living room. "Dad, what is this?" "Exactly what it says," I replied evenly, rising to meet his gaze. The power within me surged, mysterious and unbreakable. Notice to vacate. 30 days. Bernice snatched the papers, scanning frantically. "This is from Thomas Bradley, attorney who's—" Logan stared, disbelief cracking his features. "You're joking. This is a joke, right? Some prank." "No joke. I want you out of my house." His laugh erupted sharp, disbelieving dying as quickly as it came. "Your house. We live here. This is our home. It's my house. Deed in my name. You've paid not a cent in 3 years." Bernice's voice pitched, shrill. Manipulative tears welling. Not real, the kind she wielded like a weapon on clerks and tellers. "We're family. You can't evict family." "I can. I am." The words flowed with a strength I hadn't felt since commanding patrols overseas, that hidden reserve of command. Logan crossed the room in 3 strides, looming over my chair, papers crumpling in his fist. "What's gotten into you? This about Christmas. You fell, accidents happen." I stood eye to eye, unflinching. "I didn't fall. You pulled the chair. That was the last straw in 3 years of treating me like a servant here." Bernice wedged between us, hands fluttering. "We treat you fine. We let you live here." The words struck like a backhand. "You let me. This is my house." Jaw tightened, the betrayal's depth unraveling in that moment. A mystery I'd ignored too long. "This is insane," Logan spat. "Cruel, vindictive. Where are we supposed to go? Not my problem." 30 days, Bernice's tears flowed faster. Performative sobs. "How can you do this to your son, your grandchildren? You should have thought of them before pulling that chair, before the lies, the taking." Logan glanced at the letterhead, eyes narrowing. "Hired a lawyer." "How long planning this?" "Long enough. Since the fall, the awakening." Bernice grabbed her phone, dialing with trembling fingers. "I'm calling my father. He'll talk sense. Go ahead." I settled back the house, seeming to lean in, guardian watching. Speaker on rings twice. Albert's voice. "Bernice, what's wrong?" "Alonzo's evicting us." Served papers, sheriff at door. Kicking us to the street. Slow down. What happened? Her version gasped out. Nothing but good to him. No warning, just betrayal. Albert? Let me talk to Alonzo. Phone shoved at me. Albert? What's going on? They've lived free 3 years. Treated me like help. Want my house back legal. Pause breathing. They pay rent. Not a dime. Bills, nothing. Another pause. Then it's your right, your house. Bernice snatched back Dad our side. Not side's right. Generous, 3 years. Time to stand alone. I can't believe sorry, honey. Alonzo owns it. Call ended. Bernice stared at the phone betrayed. Evening fell like a curtain. Logan at dining table, laptop open, typing furiously. Tenant rights, Arizona. Fighting eviction. Calls low urgent oral agreement, hardship. I ate at the kitchen stool, fork, scraping solitude. Their panic vindicating. Next day's Cold War. January 21st. Found attorney Marcus Webb storefront $500 consult. Overheard challenge delay 6 months, week. Bradley emailed me later. Stalling, home divided. Separate meals, invisible walls. Bernice stopped speaking. Logan glared. January 22nd. More staging. Pills in bathroom photographed. Bernice to neighbor. Worried about him. Recorder caught indoor truth. Push the old fool out. January 23rd. Logan's filing prep claimed lifetime residence for care. Lies. My counter. More recordings, Dr. Chen letter reinforced. Suspense built. Their whispers at night, fight dirty. My strength unmoved. January 25th. Albert called me secretly. No. But in dreams house revealed alliances. Reactions rawness faded to calculation. Their desperation my edge. Notice served die cast. Power mine victory nearing. The final week before the February 28th court date stretched like a taut wire across the Arizona desert, humming with tension that threatened to snap at any moment. I, Alonzo Flores, moved through my house like a shadow warrior, my senses sharpened to a razor's edge by the mysterious force that had become my constant companion, the guardian spirit of these walls, or perhaps the unyielding power awakening within my own soul. The air felt charged electric with impending justice, as if the house itself anticipated the reckoning. Lights flickered in patterns I'd come to interpret as signs encouragement during my preparations, warnings when Bernice or Logan lurked too close. Was it real, this ethereal ally, or a manifestation of my veteran's intuition honed in battles long past? It didn't matter. It fueled me, transforming humiliation into an unbreakable resolve. February 21st, Bradley called while I sat in my room door. Barred folders spread across the bed like a battlefield map. Their response came expected nonsense. Oral agreement for lifetime stay in exchange for care. Plus competency concerns. Baseless, but they'll smear. Smear. My voice steady, but inside suspense, coiled like a serpent. Claim you're confused, forgetful. We counter with Dr. Chen's eval texts recordings. Stay calm, record everything. I hung up, heart pounding not with fear, but with the thrill of the hunt. Their attack on my mind, a desperate gambit, revealing their true colors. That afternoon at the electronics store backup, I bought a second recorder. Redundancy, my army motto. Home atmosphere curdled to poison. Bernice's eyes darted suspiciously. Logan paced, muttering legal terms. The grandkids tiptoed, sensing the storm. "Grandpa, why's everyone mad?" Marco asked innocently during a rare moment alone in the hallway. "Grown-up stuff, mijo. Nothing about you." I hugged him, resolve wavering for a split second, their pawns in this war. But Bernice snatched him away. "Leave him be." Evening overheard through recorder planted in the living room vent. A risky move, but one-party consent covered me. Logan to Bernice. Webb says play up the care angle. Make him look senile. Already staging. Neighbors buying it. My blood boiled, but I documented audio file Feb 21, 7 p.m. Evidence stacked higher. February 22nd. More meetings with Bradley at a neutral cafe downtown, discreet away from prying eyes. He reviewed my arsenal. Photos of misplaced pills, timestamps, irrefutable text screenshots. Bernice plotting confusion, narrative neighbor statements. I'd subtly collected from Margaret Hayes. Bernice seemed fake. Alonzo always sharp. Gold Bradley said, eyes gleaming. Their filings weak self-serving testimony, no medical proof. Judge will see through. And the trust I pressed, the asset protection piece, feeling like a secret weapon. Post-eviction but prep now. Cuts inheritance cold. Back home, suspense thickened. Bernice helped with laundry, mildewed my shirts again. Oops. Recorder caught her smirk to Logan later. Little accidents build the picture. I rewashed, logged, felt the Guardian stir a draft, slamming a door unnaturally. Alley or coincidence, empowered either way. February 23rd. Logan confronted me in the garage. Dad, drop this. We're family. Family respects boundaries. You crossed them all. His face twisted. You'll regret isolating the kids. Threat noted, recorded via phone in pocket. Actions have consequences. He stormed off, but that night mystery deepened. Woke to footsteps at 2 a.m. Peered out. Logan rifling my mail again. Snuck closer. Recorder on. Looking for the deed. Or will? No will existed. But their assumption chilled me. House creaked loudly, scared him off. He jumped. Cursed. Audio gold. February 24th. Bernice escalated staging. Left my keys in the fridge, forgetful. Photographed, returned. To the mail carrier loud. Alonzo's memory slipping, we manage meds. But indoor whisper to kids. Stay away, he's cranky. Contradictions preserved. Dr. Chen, Bash faxed additional notes. Patient alert, decision capable. Fortified. Bradley emailed mock cross-exam, stick to facts. No emotion. I practiced in the mirror, my reflection, fiercer eyes like polished steel. February 25th. 2 more incidents. TV argument. My remote now. Logan snatched it. Not for long. Police threat loomed in my mind but held back save for bigger. Grandkids coached Diego. Slipped, mom says you're sick. Heart ached but explained gently, I'm fine. Love you. Bernice pulled him. Mission exposed. Night dreams of Margaret fight Alonzo. The house is yours. Woke empowered. February 26th. Final Bradley meet courthouse scout. Judge Morrison fair, no nonsense. Hates games. Organized evidence. Binders labeled backups on USB. Trust docs prepped Veterans Fund beneficiary. Home. Their practice sessions overheard Bernice crying on cue, Logan rehearsing care stories. Suspense peaked. Calendar glared one day, left. February 27th, night before. Lay awake, ceiling shadows dancing like courtroom specters. House hummed, lights dimming soothingly. Personal power crested from humiliated elder to avenging owner. Betrayal's web about to burn. February 28th. Dawn cold and bright. Dressed in navy suit, Margaret's favorite tie knotted with veteran's precision. Left at 8:30. Bernice sneering, where now, errands. Lie final. Courthouse imposing stone. Arizona seal looming. Bradley met in hallway 9, Sen. 15 briefcase bulging. Tight ship. Facts only. Logan Bernice Webb arrived night 9:30. Bernice in conservative dress makeup, minimal hair pulled back like a grieving daughter. Logan Ty fidgeted, face pale. They avoided my gaze. Guilt's shadow. Bailiff called 950 Flores versus Flores. Unlawful detainer. Courtroom wood paneling, rich modern benches. Judge Patricia Morrison, entering late 50s, gray hair glasses on chain. She sat opened file. Eviction. Reviewed filings. Mr. Wise. Mr. Webb, contesting. Webb stood papers rustling nervously. Yes, Honor. Clients resided 3 years on oral agreement permanent stay for care as Mr. Flores ages. Written number family understanding. Witnesses, parties themselves. Concerns on petitioner's mental state. Sudden decision suggests confusion. Morrison peered over glasses. Medical evidence of impairment. Webb hesitated. Circumstantial neighbors noted forgetfulness pills misplaced. Observation isn't diagnosis, expert testimony. No. But behaviors, speculative. Evidence of agreement. Webb called Logan, sworn in. Dad wanted us close permanent. Help maintain property. Bradley Cross, paid rent. No family. Utilities. He said no worry. Documentation family, no paper. Bradley laid bank statements, 0 payments 3 years. Specific help examples. Logan, defensive housework, upkeep. Dates, receipts. Silence. No further. Morrison to Bradley. Your case. Simple property law honor. Deed presented. Paid 2010. Clear. No lease, no contribution. Statements entered. Recompetency. Recent eval. Dr. Chen's report 2930. MMSE, no impairment. Morrison read carefully. Thorough, plus deception. Photos of staged pills texts. Make them think he's losing it. Judge's eyebrows rose, reading, authenticated yes. Origin confirmed. Called Margaret Hayes Bernice performative. Alonzo always capable. Morrison removed glasses, gaze piercing. Logan Bernice. Enough. Owner outright. No credible agreement, self-serving at best, no rent. Tenants at will. Pause. Competency attack, baseless borders, defamation. Texts show deception. Gavel judgment petitioner. Vacate by April 15th. Sheriff if needed. Strike silence release in my chest. Not triumph, exhalation. Bradley handshake over. Congrats. Behind Bernice's voice hallway. Destroyed family. Bitter old man. Stop, Logan hissed. I turned. You betrayed yourselves, Bradley. Don't engage. Elevator down her echoes, fading distance, growing. March 1st to 10th. Victory's glow dimmed by logistics. Bradley Trust, next protect assets. Researched revocable trust beneficiary. Veterans Fund. Payback for post-war aid. March 11th. Called estate planner. Patricia Morgan Bradley. Resimuasasi. Aped, March 15th. Home, cold stairs, but power mine. They scrambled apartments. I planned legacy. The courtroom clash unveiled truths, my strength victorious. House guardian, side relief, reclamation advanced. Suspense shifted. Trust's secret strike loomed, betrayal's final twist. The days following the courtroom victory blurred into a haze of cautious empowerment, each one peeling back another layer of the family's fragile facade, while the house, my steadfast ally in this unraveling mystery, seemed to pulse with a quiet satisfaction. I, Alonzo Flores, felt the guardian spirit's presence more acutely now, as if the walls themselves exhaled relief after the judgment. Shadows danced less erratically. Lights steadied, and drafts carried a soothing chill rather than warnings. Or was it my own inner strength manifesting these signs, that mysterious reservoir of resilience drawn from battlefield survivals and personal losses? The gavel's echo still rang in my ears. April 15th. Deadline, sheriff. Enforcement, looming like a specter. But victory tasted bittersweet. The grandkids' confused faces haunted me pawns in a game not of their making. March 1st. Back home after the hearing, the air thick with unspoken defeat. Logan and Bernice returned later, faces ashen web, trailing like a defeated shadow. They avoided the living room where I sat with coffee reviewing Bradley's notes. Whispers filtered from upstairs. Appeal costs too much. Find apartment fast. Suspense hung what would their next move be. That evening, Logan appeared at my bedroom door first. Civil knock in months. Dad, can we talk? About, I asked warily. Recorder discreetly on habits die hard. He entered uninvited, sat on the bed's edge, eyes downcast. Everything? Christmas? I was wrong. Cruel. Sorry. His voice cracked, genuine or rehearsed. I watched carefully. The power dynamic shifted irrevocably. Sorry because of the judge, or the trust I mentioned. His head snapped up. How'd he know Bradley had advised discretion but word travels in tight walls? Bernice overheard your call. A charity veterans fund. Yes, March 15th, signing. Anger flashed, then desperation. We took you for granted. Start over, pay rent market rate. Utilities, groceries. 3 years to offer. Now with eviction clock ticking, I mean it. Hurt you? Yes. But family. Hope flickered in his eyes when I mentioned revocable could change beneficiary, but won't. Steady gaze, decision made. The grandkids cutting them off. Not them. I'll see them. Explain when older. House decided. Anger resurfaced. This how you want son in crappy apartment 'cause can't afford. Lived worse post-service Roach's roommates. Survived. You will. He stood, realization dawning, futile. You've changed. No, you never saw me truly. Door closed behind him. House creaking, solidarity. March 22nd. Logan confronted post-work call I learned later. Burst in pale shaking. Trust when last week. Why protect assets? Goes where I want. Where veterans fund. Silence swelled like floodwaters. Charity, our house, my inheritance to strangers, not yours. Never was. Revenge, my property. Taught me when treated like yours. Stormed upstairs, slam rattling frames. Bernice, minutes later, fury controlled. Strangers over family. Made us strangers pulling chair. Turned away, words spent. March 24th. Bernice sent boys, knocked tentatively. Grandpa opened, knelt. Come in. Older spoke, coached mom. Says move small apartment, no own room. Younger lip trembled. Stay please, sat them. Parents need own place. Normal, share rooms, okay. But mom says you make us leave, not want us. Love you. Grown-up stuff, not you. Hugged younger's tears. Bernice doorway. Boys leave alone. Took them mission failed. Resolve wavered momentarily, manipulation evident, not kid's plea. Recorded exchange, emotional leverage attempt. March 25th, 27th. Packing whispers. Cardboard boxes appeared corners hallways. Overheard Logan on laptop 1,400,000 month South Phoenix 2-bed. Bernice sharp terrible area Tempe 1,850 can't afford. No savings 'cause your father let go. 2 weeks. Signed lease April 3rd. Budget complex bars windows 900 square feet. Paperwork counter. I noted address silently. Consequences crystallized. Lines blurred, theirs, mine. April 5th. Empty spaces, kitchen knives missing. Ours, Bernice claimed. Here pre-move. Receipts. Proved 2020. TV. 2018 tables. Frustrated grab. Fine. April 8th. Garage boxes suspicious. My TV tables. Confronted prove. Folder receipts returned pre-them. April 9th, more disputes power drill gone. Logged replaced lock bedroom earlier. Suspense in theft attempts. House guardian intervened. Drawer, stuck suspiciously jammed their pry. April 10th evening Bernice with photo album. Look. Logan's childhood vacations, happy once. Glance it where, destroying for pride. Respect you gave none. Boy grow, knowing grandfather chose strangers. Actions, consequences, better entitlement lesson. Left album, closed aside. Wavering, fleeting strength held. April 12th. Aaron's return rental truck early driveway. Logan friends loading my recliner coffee table bookshelf. Stop mine. Need furniture, apartment empty. My furniture. Friends uncomfortable, maybe fine. Load. Phoned police. Stealing property. Logan laughed. Go ahead. Officers 20 men. Ina Rodriguez assessed. Showed order receipts. Proof ownership to Logan. Use them using not owning. Unload. Supervised return. Friends bolted. Logan/Bernice driveway glare. Police on son heartless. Stealing what expecta April 13th, 14th. Packed, proven theirs clothes pre-move items. Realized ownership little. April 14th evening. Final pleas failed. Boys' bedtime stories denied pack. House quieted guardian, peaceful. April 15th. Dawn. Woke 6 a.m. coffee kitchen. Movement upstairs last in my house. Truck arrived. Loaded methodically different friends, others refused. Watched window, no help, hinder. Observed. 30. Bernice, boys down. Bye, Grandpa. Knelt. Hug see, soon. Tough kids. Younger cried. Pulled away. Logan walked through. Keys removed, ring held out. Took. Happy alone, big house, hope learned. What family matters not. Respect does. Can't take without give. Consequences. Paused door. Regret. Someday. No. Bernice final destroyed family for house. Warm nights, goodbye. Truck started followed car. Drove street corner gone. 15. Silence complete. Walked rooms empty spaces, but mine remained. Recliner sat tried take. Hour there, peaceful quiet, not hostile. Breathing after underwater 3 years. Phone rang 2 p.m. Logan. Let ring voicemail, ignored. 3 p.m. 4:30. 6:15 more. 8 by evening. Fake reconciliation crumbled. Move executed. Their desperation my serenity. House reclaimed power absolute. Next, life renewed mysteries resolved in victory's calm. The days immediately after April 15th carried a surreal weight. Like the hush after a sandstorm clears the Arizona sky, everything sharper, more defined, yet laced with the grit of what had passed. I, Alonzo Flores, wandered my empty house that first afternoon. Fingers trailing over bare walls where family photos had once hung, now boxed away in Logan's truck and vanished with them. The silence was profound, not empty, but full, a reclaiming echo that resonated with the guardian spirit I'd sensed throughout this ordeal. The house seemed to breathe easier, its mysterious creaks softening into contented sighs as if the walls themselves had been holding tension for 3 long years. Shadows no longer darted suspiciously. Instead, sunlight streamed through windows uncurtained by Bernice's gaudy drapes, illuminating dust motes like tiny guardians dancing in approval. My personal power, that hidden strength awakened by betrayal, felt solidified, now not vengeful, but sovereign. I'd won the battle, but the war's aftermath lingered in the air, suspenseful whispers of what consequences might ripple outward. April 16th dawned crisp, the Phoenix sun already warming the patio where I sat with coffee, rocking in Margaret's old chair I'd salvaged from the garage. The phone buzzed incessantly, Logan's number flashing like a persistent ghost. I let it ring 4 times that morning alone, each vibration a testament to their desperation. By noon, texts began, "Dad, answer. We need to talk. This isn't over." Deleted without reading, but the intrusion grated. Bernice's number joined the fray by evening, 3 calls, 2 voicemails. I erased unheard. The house stirred faintly, a draft rattling the windows as if warding off the digital siege. Was it the guardian intervening, or my imagination fortifying boundaries? Either way, it empowered me to act. That night, as stars pricked the desert sky, I blocked both numbers. A simple tap, yet profound, like sealing a tomb on the past. Silence enveloped me deeper than before. Sleep came easy for the first time in months, dreams laced with Margaret's laughter echoing through empty rooms. April 17th to 20th. The calls ceased from their end, but curiosity nagged. What were they plotting? Now I focused on reclamation, rearranging furniture to my taste. The recliner back in its corner by the window, coffee table polished to a gleam. Afternoons brought small projects, fixing the leaky faucet. Bernice had ignored painting over scuffs from the kids' toys. Each task felt like exorcising remnants, the house responding with warmer vibes. Lights flickering on earlier as dusk fell, as if eager to illuminate my solitude. By April 23rd, a new number rang, unknown local area code. I answered warily, recorder app running out of habit. Alonzo. This is Albert Clark, Bernice's father. Got a minute? I paused on the porch, lemonade in hand, the sun dipping low. Albert, the man who'd taken my seat at Christmas, yet hung up on their please post-service. Speaking. What can I do for you? Not calling to fight your corner, Alonzo. Just checking in, and maybe share what I know. They told me about the eviction, the trust. Rough stuff. Rougher on them, I suppose, neutral tone, but inside suspense. Coiled what angle? He sighed, audible over the line. Look, I love my daughter, but she's spoiled. Always has been. That apartment they found. A dive in South Phoenix, 900 square feet, bars on windows, neighbors blasting music till dawn. Logan's working doubles at the warehouse, barely covering rent. Bernice is freaking out, no job, kids crammed in one room. Thought you'd want to know the fallout. Did I? Part of me reveled in the justice, the mysterious balance of actions and repercussions. Another part, the grandfather, ached faintly. They made choices. Why tell me? Because your family too, in a twisted way. And honestly, I see your side. They mooched off you for years. I tried warning Bernice, stand on your own, but she laughed it off. Now reality's biting hard. We talked for 20 minutes, neutral ground. He described the move, Logan snapping at movers, Bernice crying over the loss of my furniture, the pieces they'd tried stealing. The boys confused, asking why Grandpa hated them. Told him it's adult stuff, Albert said. But kids know BS. Appreciate the update, I replied. Not gloating, but consequences. Exactly. Call if you want more. Or not. Up to you. Hung up, porch rocker, creaking rhythmically. The guardian seemed to approve, a soft breeze rustling leaves like a nod. Albert's call cracked open a window to their world, a suspenseful peek into the void I'd created. April 25th. First in-person follow-through. Albert texted from a diner downtown, neutral territory. I arrived early, coffee steaming, watching patrons like a vet scanning for threats. He slid into the booth, older than I remembered. Worry lines etched deeper. Thanks for coming. Figured face-to-face better. Spill, I said, direct. He stirred sugar slowly. They're drowning. Rent's $1,400. Logan's pay barely covers after utilities. Bernice applied for jobs, nothing yet. Her foot's acting up from all the standing during the move. Doctor's bills piling. Boys started new school mid-year. Marco got in a fight defending Grandpa's house. Logan sold his tools for grocery money. Details painted a vivid picture of unraveling consequences manifesting like desert thorns. They expected handouts forever. Albert nodded. Bernice, especially, thought entitlement was love. Now she's raging at Logan. Your dad's fault. He's quiet, broken a bit. Mentioned regretting the chair pull, but pride won't let him say it to you. Suspense built. Would regret led to outreach, blocked their numbers. Peace is mine. Smart. But the kids, they miss you. Diego drew a picture of the old backyard sprinklers. Heart-twinged pawns again. Arrange visits. Away from parents. His eyes lit. I'd host. My place neutral. Agreed tentatively. The meet ended with a handshake alliance forged in shared observation. Early May. Albert's updates via calls every 10 days, dispatches from the front. May 5th. Bernice landed a gig cashier at a discount store 12 hour. Hates it, complains non-stop. Blames arthritis, flare from stress you caused. Logan's overtime approved but exhausted. Nodded off driving minor fender bender. Insurance spiked. The house listened during these calls. I'd pace the living room and shadows would shift as if eavesdropping. My strength grew in the contrast, and my evening's peaceful garden thriving with new tomato plants, while theirs crumbled. May 15th. Another diner meet. Albert brought photos, surreptitiously snapped. The apartment cluttered, peeling paint boys sharing a bunk bed. Not abuse, but tight. Bernice cleaning offices nights, now double shifts. Logan's credit cards maxed. Collection calls constant. Learned, yet starting. Logan asked about you, how's Dad holding up? Told him you're fine, probably better. A mystery emerged, Logan probing neighbors. Margaret Hayes called me May 20th. Your son came by asking questions. Said he's worried about you being alone. I told him mind his business, you look happier than ever. Overheard via Albert later Logan's reconnaissance, gauging if I'd crack, perhaps beg reconciliation. Suspense in his orbiting, never direct. Late May. First grandkids visit arranged. Albert's house Saturday afternoon. I arrived with ice cream nerves jangling like old dog tags. The boys burst out, Marco and Diego, hugs fierce. Grandpa missed you, sat on Albert's patio, sprinklers misting the grass like my old backyard. Tell me about school. They spilled new friends, hard apartment noisy, mom grumpy. Dad says sorry in his head, Diego whispered. Albert watched from the kitchen window, giving space. Afternoon flew cards, stories of army days sanitized for kids, hugs goodbye. Soon again, promise. Driving home, empowerment surged. Visits on my terms, pure. June, Albert's reports darkened. June 3rd call. Bernice quit the cashier job. Too demeaning. Back to square one. Logan's boss cut hours, warehouse slow down. Eviction notice on apartment, late rent. Borrowed from me $500, said last time. Learning debts chain slowly. Boys' grades slipping, distraction. My life contrasted blissfully. Joined a veterans coffee group weekly mornings, walking the neighborhood evenings, reading on the porch. The guardian spirit manifested subtly, a lost tool found exactly when needed for fence repairs, as if placed by invisible hands. June 15th. Albert visited my house first since the fallout. Toured the changes, kitchen reorganized, my medals displayed proudly. Feels like a home again, not a hostel. Peaceful. Exactly. Patio beers. Logan's drinking more bar after work. Bernice therapy. Nah, too proud. But cracks showing, she admitted to me, maybe we pushed too far. Regrets seed sprouting. Too late for here. Understood. Kids ask visits weekly now. Arranged bi-monthly. Suspense in Logan's shadows. Another drive-by sighting. June 20th, his car idling across street while I gardened. Watched 10 minutes, then drove off. No approach cowardice or calculation. July heat wave, mirrored tensions. July 5th. Update. Big blow up. Bernice found Logan's bar tabs $300 month. Fighting loud. Neighbors complained. Boys hid in closet. I intervened, took kids overnight. Breaking point. Yes. Logan job hunting better pay warehouses competitive. Bernice applied cleaning hates but needs. My empathy stirred minimally the grandfather in me for the boys. Visits became highlights, July 10th. Albert's again picnic, laughs. Dad says hi. Marco slipped, wants to apologize. Tell him actions speak. Albert later overheard that. Logan punched wall frustration. Mid-July, financial rock bottom. Car repossessed, payments missed. Public transit now. Bernice walking to interviews. Boys' summer camp skipped cost. Consequences compounded, mysterious justice unfolding without my hand. Late July. Final deep dive. Coffee with Albert stabilizing barely. Logan, new job slightly better. Bernice, cleaning offices, grueling but steady. Admitted fault privately. Took Alonzo granted. Boys thriving, visits your anchor. Glad for them. As August loomed, updates slowed, Albert sensing my peace. They get it now, late but real. The follow-through via Albert unveiled layers. Not just punishment, but growth enforced. My power affirmed in detachment house, serene life renewed. Harsher realities awaited their full embrace. But my chapter closed gently, suspense resolved in quiet victory. The weeks following April 15th unfolded like the slow unfurling of a desert bloom after a rare rain, tentative at first, then bursting with unexpected life and color. I, Alonzo Flores, stood in the echoing silence of my reclaimed home, the absence of footsteps and slammed doors, a symphony I'd longed for without realizing. The house, that enigmatic guardian I'd come to sense in every creak and shadow, seemed to settle into a profound peace. Its mysterious energy no longer agitated, but content, as if it too had been waiting for this reclamation. Lights steadied, drafts warmed, and in the quiet hours, I swear, I felt Margaret's presence, lingering approvingly, a soft brush of air, a faint scent of her rosemary perfume from decades ago. Was it grief's illusion, or the hidden power of place and memory weaving comfort? It empowered me all the same, transforming the void left by my son's departure into a canvas for renewal. April 16th. The calls persisted. Logan's number lighting my phone screen like persistent fireflies in the dusk. 4 that morning, 3 in the afternoon, 5 by evening. I glanced each time, let them ring into voicemail, oblivion. Texts trickled in by the 18th. Dad, please talk. Know you're angry, this extreme kid's asking about you. Deleted unread. The manipulation attempts grated, but my strength held firm, no engagement, no weakness shown. By April 23rd, the barrage hit 57 calls in a week, a number I'd tally unconsciously, a punctuation to the chaos they'd inflicted. That morning I opened settings, blocked Logan and Bernice. Silence descended, profound and liberating. The house sighed with me, a floorboard popping in what felt like approval. Late April. A different number rang. Answered cautiously, Alonzo Albert Clark, Bernice's father. Minute. Sat straighter on the porch rocker. My father's old chair retrieved from storage. Time. Not arguing. Checking on you and truth. Saw their apartment rough, cramped. Boys adjusting hard. Pause. Not asking change. You did right. Took advantage years. First from their side, validation warmed like sun on old bones. Because true. Bernice, my daughter, love her but easy way seeker. Logan changed by her. Deserve better. Described struggles. Bernice job hunting, no work, 10 years. Logan's salary stretched thin. Friends loan shunning after eviction tale spread. Actions, consequences, I echoed my mantra. They do. Updates if want, appreciate. Fine. May through July, Albert's calls every few weeks, neutral dispatches from the front lines of their fallout. Mid-May. Bernice landed retail clerk gig, 13-hour discount store, first job since marriage. Exhausted, unused to labor. Logan. Overtime boys, mid-year school transfer, struggling socially. Early June. Coffee, meat, at diner. Albert stirred sugar slowly. Bernice, 2 jobs now, retail plus cleaning. Not used to it. Had years my expense. Learning costs. Logan asked, $2,000 loan refused. Figure himself. Mentioned Logan probing neighbors. Margaret et al. Told leave alone. Suspense in their unraveling. Reality biting my peace, contrasting. Late June. Stabilized tight. Bernice, foot injury, work, missed wages. Logan sold truck, cheaper car. Boys ask visit you. Bernice refuses. Mid-July, another coffee. Logan's quieter, defeated. Grown, mentioned you, understands why now. Understanding post-consequence. Albert set cup. Complicated, but boys miss you. Arrange visits my place, no parents considered like that. Late July, Albert visited house first since explosion. Toured living room, restored my way kitchen. Organized bedrooms, empty clean. Looks you again. Before cluttered, chaotic. Felt guest house, was. Patio coffee, apologize Christmas. Showed for seat, didn't see treatment. Signs missed, Bernice orders. Logan, entitlement. Not your fault. Still, good man, Alonzo. Better deserved. Silence comfortable. Boys Saturday, my place. Yes. First visit Saturday, Albert's. Boys cautious entry, then warmed. Mom said mad us. Never you. Love. Afternoon cards, talk ice cream. Monthly set. Late July, rhythm developed. Phone silent. Logan. House, peaceful morning. Patio coffee, afternoons projects, repainted guest room, soft blue, fixed fence gate, squeak no more. Replanted, garden tomatoes thriving. Weekend barbecue. 3 retired auto shop colleagues. Lighter, happier, one said. Margaret waved yard. Waved back normalcy. July faded, August heat. Social calendar. Bi-weekly, Albert coffee, colleague lunches, neighborhood potluck. Brought potato salad. Mr. Patterson, dessert. Table, smiling again. Been while. Realized right, smiling more. Mid-August. Albert call boys, ask see house. Comfortable, bring them, I stay. Parents unknow. Like. Sprinklers, trunks. Saturday, hesitated, threshold. Looks different, older said. Simpler, not empty. Our stuff. Your apartment room. Grandpa's house. Deflected outside sprinkler. Backyard laughter, soaking, runs, shouts. Watched patio, Albert beside. Thank this. Needed see, okay love. Always, never them. Perceptive kids, sandwiches, lemonade. Patio, school, chatter, friends, apartment pool. Older stopped. Happy grandpa, mom says, lonely, eyes met. Not lonely, peaceful, difference. Nodded, understanding beyond years. Left hugs, tight, younger whisper. Miss you, too. Keep seeing. Promise. Late August morning, yard work, trimming bushes, edging lawn precise. Car slowed, front, recognized, cheaper sedan. Logan post sale, stopped across street. Continued work, aware. 5 minutes, engine off, watching house. Glanced, eyes met. Uncertainty, regret, expression new. Held neutral, no wave. Looked away, wheel. Another 5:15 total. Heard start, pulled away, peripheral. Didn't watch, trimmed, but listened, fade. Paused, set clippers, sat porch step. Logan came, couldn't exit, cross knock, just gazed, lost, throwaway. Revenge, not suffering, comprehension. Understood consequence, Gulf created uncrossable. Later patio reflection. No anger satisfaction. Triumph, just acknowledgement, message received. Needed not apology. Acknowledgement had what mattered. Peace. Evening, August 30th. Porch temperature, cooling sun, lowering orange-pink Phoenix horizon. Rocked father's chair. Lemonade sweating hand. Street quiet kids' bikes. Couple dog walking. Margaret waved porch. Back. House glowed warm windows behind. Sprinkler backyard tick grass. Bought 40 years ago. Raised family lost Margaret nearly self. Reclaimed not legal spiritual. Home again. Christmas distant lifetime. Fall humiliation war eviction necessary steps. Unpleasant right. Logan's 57 calls morning car punctuation. Waited nothing. Not apology understanding vindication. Had in quiet house peaceful evenings freedom choose. Sun deepened sky purple. Stars emerged. Sipped rocked. Dog barked. Kids laughed street. Normal peaceful. First 3 years. Not angry planning fighting just existing. Being home. Sunset painting earned colors. Rocked slowly lemonade cold felt years. Absent truly home house and life. Quiet victory, not struggle, or Logan's inability face. This me porch, peace. One deciding deserved better. The mysteries resolved betrayals faded my power. Personal profound etched eternal, in the desert wind whispering through the eaves. Life finally mine.